the Houlihan move just to get yourself some extra money to, start funding that Zora trip.
It's a nice place to stop. Wow, we have power gloves in Link's house.
I'm loving that chest.
Already, they're like 1/3 of the way to having access to Dark World. Just right from the beginning. Which is a good thing, I think, because that means we might see a late sword.
I do like in open mode how long it takes to find like a sword. It actually makes open mode a little bit more fun in like just basically trying to have to like dodge enemies and make do with like extra items that you may get, like hook shots, stunning enemies with the bow, tossing your guards with the ice rod.
Yeah, you really learn the alternate strats in open mode. So I guess we could talk a little bit about that while our racers get started here. So the difference between open mode and standard, the last tournament was just standard. That means you go through escape, you visit Uncle, he gives you a sword, you go save Zelda, takes about 6 minutes, and then the game pretty much opens up to you. In open, they cut all that out. You don't have to rescue Zelda. You see she's standing there in Sanctuary already. You don't start with a sword. So that's the most important difference, is that it could be very late in the game before you actually find a sword. I think we had a race yesterday that went, about an hour before anyone picked up a sword. So that can happen.
Yeah, and sometimes, you get the items that you need to start doing a dungeon. One of the common ones to do without a sword is Thieves Town. Just if you have like an item like Cane of Samaria, you can use both the block and the little beams that come out of the block to damage blind. More uncommon than that is trying to use the hammer, but I mean, hammer on blind is a whole nother monster.
Oh geez, that hitbox on blind. So from the pull tree, Wolfie pulled the tree twice. OhHeyItsDavid did it once. Red rupees, which is really nice find. That means already you can see they have enough rupees to go visit the bottle vendor. They'll probably pick up enough to buy bombs if they need to.
Yeah, unless we see any coming out of the Lost Woods here, we're definitely going to see a bomb purchase. But it was interesting. We saw Wolfie start to head towards the back end of Escape, but realizing there are no bombs in his inventory, needs to go back and route towards Kakariko. Because that is one of those plays that you can do if you get the power mitts that early, saving and quitting, possibly going up to Sanctuary and getting to those back 3 chests. But luckily, we do see some bombs dropping down into this little area where normally a piece of heart resides.
Now, as we were talking, assuming depending on what they find in town, if they don't have any way to damage enemies, bombs might be the only way they can kill things. And if they're deciding to go to, let's say, the mini Moldorm cave, you're gonna need more than 3 bombs.
Oh, absolutely. I'm also loving all these tree pullings. The bottom tier of the tree pool seems to be those red rupees. So, like, 282 rupees over the 182 is huge this early.
And there's 300 rupees in Steve's hut there, so Wolfie is going to have enough to go visit Zora at this point. This is crazy. Very rich. Well, they made it rich just because of the tree pulls.
Wolfie's making his own fortune. But my question is will Wolfie want to do that fake flipper and take that risk to try to go up to Zora's? Because if you get hit, I believe it got reset to a death.
Yeah. It's definitely risky. It would be better if they happen to have flippers, of course, in which case that's not a risk. Or you get Moon Pearl, because Moon Pearl will allow you to visit the Waterfall Ferry, which is now 2 chests. That's new in this version of the randomizer. There's 2 chests there for items.
Yeah. I'm loving that placement. Both of those chests, they're giving you a little bit of more work inside Light World and early in the game, because they're pretty easy to reach. They only require that Moon Pearl because upon exiting everybody's favorite Jesus Walk you can do. But they're so easily accessed, and with only that limiter there, it opens up so many more possibilities of what is going to be what Lightworld is going to be holding for our contenders as they try to break open the seed, find those progression items.
Speaking of progression, we just got a sword. Sitting in a chicken coop.
Wulfy not far behind. So right now, both of our contenders taking a very similar route. We're probably going to see a major divergence here in like the next 10 minutes.
So they have a weapon that can deal damage. Looks like they're going to purchase some bombs. So you have about 10 bombs. So a lot of choices here for some a good deal of items. You have the mini Moldorm cave. There's 5 items in there. Easy with the sword to get into. You have the back of Escape where Wulfy tried to go earlier. There's 3 quick items. You can actually go through most of Escape itself, which is like another 3 items on top of the chest in the back.
Yeah,
and
and
in the library.
I don't know. We'll see Wulfy check it in a second, but yeah, Escape is pretty easy to get through once you have that first level sword. And the dark rooms aren't. Oh, is that the Moon Pearl at the race?
Well, grabbing that one. Red goo. That's what was the potion.
That's not too bad.
Wow, Moon Pearl and Power Gloves already. They just need either a Hammer or Titans to have Dark World access.
Now, see, do you like to see Dark World access this early? I mean, it does open up a lot of overworld, but it's so much information and it's so many possibilities that like the choice of making the wrong route is much higher.
Right.
And your opponent making that risky choice to do that.
I would say it makes for a more interesting race. As you mentioned, we're going to see, because of the different choices, we're going to see divergence. We already see divergence here. OhHeyItsDavid is heading down towards the dam, probably going to be followed by the mini Moldorm cave. Wulfy's checking the back 3 and Escape.
I wonder if we'll see a small key. If we see a small key, I don't think that Wulfy is going to be going backwards through Escape in order to check a couple of chests.
Ooh, a lantern in the back of Escape here.
All right.
Not too bad to have. And he has a small key. There was a small key in Sanctuary, I guess.
Nice. Awesome.
So lantern makes it really easy to backtrack through Escape. So there's, aside from the items, there's a map and there's a small key somewhere in Escape. Now, since they already have a small key, there's just a map in one of the chests. There's 4 total chests where Wulfy's heading. So yeah. We know one of them is a dud, but there's 3 other items that could be potentially worth.
Yeah, and that small room that Wulfy just finished with the rat that holds the key, that is the most annoying room to get through in the dark. This one, yeah, this one's not bad. The one that contains the piece of heart that Wulfy found, but yeah, just trying to locate that rat in the dark.
And Wulfy's instantly gonna check the rest. OhHeyItsDavid just picked up the cane and a sword upgrade inside the mini Moldorm cave.
That was a nice cave.
That is really, this is shaping up to be quite a seed.
Yeah, and we saw that there really wasn't anything of use at the Lumberjack Cave, or as I've heard it called, the Anxiety Cave. So, I mean, with the Moon Pearl, has access to Dark World if David decides to go through Aghanim.
That's true. That opens that up. So really, it's just what's going to be the way to access the Dark World at this point. Are we going to see a hammer? Are we going to see Titans? Or do they need to go kill Aghanim?
Yeah, I'm liking this play that David's doing. The cave that holds the ice rod. It's so far out of the way, and you want to have better movement options in order to get here. You know, you want the flute, you want the boots. You want to get here quicker because often than not, it is a bit of a dud. So, you know, while Wulfy's checking an area that's a little bit more chest dense, the mini Moldorm cave was really good for getting the next level sword in the cane. But I mean, it's a risk doing that.
So Wulfy just picked up an item there, and since he hasn't seen a map yet, he knows the map is in Zelda's chest, so he just left. So unfortunately, Lantern's the only thing he found an escape, so he looks like he's going to also head down to Mini Moldorm and be rewarded down there. OhHeyItsDavid is about to pick up his lamp.
Just happy to see that lamp. A light source is amazing.
Oh, there he goes. He's continuing to go through the dark rooms as well. Well, thank you for the subscription, Bonzonk. That's a fun name.
I think we may see a Death Mountain play coming up here soon.
That's a good point. They have Lantern, they have Power Gloves, so they can easily go up to Death Mountain. Now, it's only 2 items currently. The Old Man and whatever's inside a Spectacle Rock, but it could be the progression.
Yeah, I always like going up to Death Mountain early and having like a mirror at one of those 2 items that they can reach without actually having to have it, and you're just like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah. All right,
So-
OhHeyItsDavid. They're pretty much doing the same routes, slightly at different times, because OhHeyItsDavid's going to the front part of Escape. Wulfy is finishing up the Mini Moldorm Cave. Now, I'm curious if we'll see a fake flippers from Wulfy. He might go back and do that.
Yeah, I think Wulfy is more than likely going to do a fake flipper, even at least just to check Hobo.
Now, yeah, he could go do Aghanim. That might be an option on table. It'd be interesting to see an early Aghanim. The only downside of killing Aghanim early is it takes about 3 minutes, so it is a bit of a gamble. You're not checking items for about 3 minutes. I don't know. I don't think we'll see that sort of gamble, but maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of unlikely. I mean, it feels like it might be leading that way because you got the Moon Pearl, you got the Master Sword early, but there's still so much Light World to check.
Yeah.
Oh, Wulfy also going up to Ice Rod Cave.
Just a piece of heart, though. Sadly.
So likely to see a save and quit coming here from Wulfy. OhHeyItsDavid might go all the way to Zelda. Yeah. Oh.
Oh no, he
nope.
knows.
Yeah,
it's a
remembered. Good. Sometimes you hate to have that little bit of like doubt. You're like, oh, did I see the map? Do I need to keep going? And like you just keep going, you get the map, and you're like, okay, well at least I'm glad I'm right. But the time I wasted. Ooh, Wulfy not saving and quitting. Perhaps going to be fake flippering from the opposite side using sword buffers.
Now, OhHeyItsDavid is heading towards Sahasrahla. There's 3 items back there, really quick to check. He might continue on the Eastern as well for another 2 to 3 items. But let's see what's in the lake. Oh,
Ooh.
Fire Rod!
And Sahasrahla just hoarding money and love.
Fire Rod's important. It might be required. Chances are, actually no, correction. It is required because we have 2 pendant dungeons in the Light World. They looked at the map earlier. We have a crystal at Tower Hera, and the green pendant and the red pendant, I believe, are in the Light World.
Ooh.
So therefore, either Skull Woods or Turtle Rock are required, both of which needs it. Mire required. Yep, that's a good point. Mire is also required to get that.
Did you
Fire
just
Rod.
see what Wulfy picked up? Hobo
No, I
has the
missed it.
next sword upgrade. So Wulfy already at Tempered Sword.
Wow, Hobo. What's he holding onto a sword for? The Tempered Sword, even. This is actually going to be a fast seed with how fast I'll be able to kill things. All right, so here's where Wulfy's making use of the Moon Pearl. He's doing a fake flipper into the waterfall. He's going to leave. He's still swimming. When he leaves, the game will check his state. It will check to see if he has either flippers or Moon Pearl, and if he does, it'll put him as standing. So then he's able to come back in, open these chests, which unfortunately are not worth. We see a Death Mountain play by OhHeyItsDavid.
Now in this state, it's still death if he gets hit, correct?
If he's water walking, yes. I think, I'm not entirely certain, because I haven't tested it, but if he gets hit while over the shallow water, he might be okay. Maybe someone in chat knows. Hammer with the old man. What? Oh, I missed it. I look at the other screen and I miss it. David has the hammer. He has Dark World access now.
Beautiful. That's exactly where he may be going. Probably going through the above side of Thieves Town area, going in through that way.
And we see the single arrow at Zora, which we all know is the win. Like that the game's over. Wulfy won. He got the single arrow. And that's the best item in the game. No womp womp. That's good.
Yeah, definitely no whammies here.
Alright, so Wulfy is making his way up to Death Mountain, which he'll be rewarded with the hammer. And David is putting that hammer right to use. Now, unfortunately, he wasn't able to go further in Death Mountain because you need either hookshot or Mire. So that's why he's choosing to go here. There's also a chance that when you first get the hammer, you might go to Hype Cave right away.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking that David was probably going to go. After the save and quit, starting at Link's house, and then going down to go check those 4 chests and the little thief guy at the beginning. I mean, that's 5 items right there. The hammer even gives access to the rest of the overworld. So we got 5 at Pod. I didn't see where 6 was.
6 looked like it was Mire, maybe. And there is a pendant up at Skullwoods.
Gotcha.
But
okay.
Fire Rod is required. Mire's required because of Swamp, and also to get the Fire Rod, and Fire Rod is needed for Return to Rock.
Oh, Wulfy blocking himself.
Dead Rock's the worst enemy in the game.
Now I know that with the Dead Rocks you can, wow, flippers. But yeah, what I was gonna say is the Dead Rocks, you can use the hookshot twice in a row, and to push them a little bit farther while they're transforming into stone. I don't think it works the same way with the sword, though.
So we all know that flippers just unlocks a sword upgrade at this point. We've seen it because of the fake flippers. However, you also need flippers to get into ice and to beat swamp. So it's a good thing to have, not have to worry about it later. And you know, once they get hookshot, well, even not hookshot, once they get Mire, they can just go to swamp to check it out. It could be a location for items.
Wulfy deciding to go check out Hype Cave.
All
we saw a little bit of maybe sorta. Yeah, this is what I want to do.
All right, chat, get ready. Get your hypes ready. Mini Molder Cave was already hyped, so let's see if Hype Cave can live up to its name. Okay, yep. 6 was Mire. And real quick, David is starting to clear Thieves. He has Hammer, so he can do a full clear. It's a crystal dungeon, so why not? There's 4 items total that he can get here.
Yeah, it's always a risky move going into Thieves Town without that hammer. But I mean, sometimes you gotta make that. You gotta make that one shot of like, hopefully it's gonna contain a compass or a map.
We got hype. It's Titans, which hammer is required. That was the only way to access this location. Like, even beating Aghanim, you can't get down here unless you have the hammer. So there's Titans.
It's beautiful. Beautiful early Titans. I mean, 20 minutes in the seed. Wulfy's got Moon Pearl, Titan's Mitt, Hammer, level 3 sword, and Samaria.
We have a cape that was inside of Thieves. We had a mushroom. So we had a bit of a fetch quest item there.
Yeah, and since Wulfy got the Titan's Mitt, he's able to take this route up into Thieves Refuge. As you know, there is one rock in the way that requires you to have the Titan's Mitt in order to achieve access there. Otherwise, we might have seen a save and quit situation from Wulfy.
So he's going to do Shovel Game first, and then, as you mentioned, he's going to continue on to Village of Outcasts. And it's a better entrance to go. Even if you have Titans and you go to Kakariko and take the portal there, it's a lot faster than having to use Hammer. So he'll save a little bit of time there compared to David.
Yeah, plus a couple additional checks and just a small little red rupee. I ain't colorblind. Over there at the dig game.
So I don't know. I know David's gotten 2 items so far. I don't think he got a third. I don't remember. Oh, he must have, because he doesn't have a small key or a map or compass. So he's gotten 3 of the 4 items so far. There's a map.
Interesting. 3 up at the beginning of Thieves Town it's kind of unheard of. I mean, you always want to see maybe something like that if you're just dipping into Thieves Town if it is a pendant, but I mean, seeing it as a crystal, you're already gonna most likely full clear the dungeon anyway. But it doesn't look like anything really paid off so far. But like you said, we've already seen at least 3.
Now we know the next chest next to the maiden will be a small key, because it always gives you a small key before you get to the big chest. So we'll see David open the big chest anyway, and hopefully it'll be the item and not a compass, but we'll see. So we have some hammer pegs from Wulfy. Quick item check. Just bomb upgrade. So he'll probably also continue, since it's a crystal dungeon, he'll probably continue into Thieves.
Yeah, it's interesting that there are a lot of these chests that are in the dungeons that they didn't want to randomize it, so that way it would always contain like a small key to prevent soft locks. Or almost always, I should say.
They should have ironed out most of the kinks on getting a soft lock situation. And we did get the last item for David. So the items of worth here are cape and mushroom, and we'll have to see if mushroom actually leads to anything good.
We always do love a good fetch quest. So looks like Wulfy is going to be making his way into Thieves Town also. I mean, like we said, easy dungeon. You got everything to full clear it.
Blind had a cheesy joke for us.
Blind into the dad jokes.
It's funny, I keep looking over at Wulfy's side and I see him in Bunny. I'm like, oh, he's been hit again.
You were thinking that too?
Okay, we missed the green rupee. That was the 4th item. Alright, David picking up his first crystal. Keep in mind, he still has to get the Hype Cave himself. He's missing, he has to visit the Hobo if he wants a sword upgrade, and he'll probably visit him at some point. And he's probably going to make his way over towards Hype Cave now. Oh, wait, he's going north. He's gonna put the cape to use.
Or hoping that the cave is necessary. Because there's only really a few uses where the cape is like necessary. This is the main one where it's 100% necessary.
Oh, just a red rupee though.
Yeah, but it can be used to get into Aghanims, and then it's also a safety item to prevent additional damage, and a lot better than the Cane of Burna, unfortunately.
Now it's also used to unlock Spike Cave. So if they ever go up to Death Mountain to go do Spike Cave, one of the requirements is either blue cane or cape, or it's like half magic in a bottle or something.
Yeah, any kind of like way that will prevent you just to not die in that room, or if you do, to revive yourself. But I haven't seen net early in too many randos these days. Okay, it's David gonna be playing the digging game. More likely gonna be, yeah, but still disappointed at the red ruby.
That's 10
Accidentally gets it though.
Well, it was in his way.
Yeah.
So you'll notice every race, there's a different number of digs that they need to pick it up. That's been randomized, but it is standard in the seed itself. So both Wulfy and David had 10 digs to get that item.
Yeah, other things that are shared like that are how many warps Ganon has and how many blue balls Aghanim has. I also feel like the pattern that Aghanim takes is the same. At least Aghanim 2.
I think so, where he teleports. As far as I know, that's standard. There's been other things at the shovel game. I've actually seen progression. I think the race I commentated yesterday was... What was there? I think it was progression.
Yeah, and the one that I commentated earlier this morning had Ether, and that was needed for Turtle Rock. So it is more common that Digging Game has something. I don't want to say always, because I don't want to lead anybody that's interested in picking this up to be like, I gotta do Digging Game, because Digging Game's got something important. It's like, no, everything has the potential to have something important.
Alright, so David picks up his mitts. Let's see where he decides to go next. He's going to continue in Dark World. He might make his way up to Pod.
It's likely, but I mean, dipping into Pod without the bow?
So that's rough. The lower left chest, the only chest you can reach, has to be a small key, and then he'd be able to continue. It looks like he's going to go up to Pyramid, maybe even Catfish first.
Yeah. I'm liking this play. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like going into Palace of Darkness and trying to hope for a key, because there is a pretty high chance that it is a key. There are, I believe, 6 keys, 6 small keys inside of Palace of Darkness, so they're pretty good odds. But I mean, that one time that you go in there and it's, you know, red rupee and you're just like, oh man, I gotta leave.
The randomizer tends to front load Pod, but yes, as you mentioned, there's been times when the lower left is not a small key. I've seen the big key be there, and I've also seen actual items there.
Beautiful. So, OhHeyItsDavid getting a green potion and a bottle. Now able to check the sick kid in Kakariko Village, and we see Wulfy now getting his first crystal. So neck and neck with items. I'd say the biggest thing that Wulfy's got on OhHeyItsDavid right now is the upgraded sword.
Now Wulfy's doing the same thing. He's going to check the cape out. We'll see if he decides to pop in to Early Skull Woods.
I kind of want to see that. As we've seen some people like say like Skull Woods has something in version 26.
Alright, let's see what Catfish has over on David's side.
Interesting jump. Doing a little bit of a moonwalk jump back.
That's a good point. Wulfy does have knowledge compared to David. Since David hasn't used his flippers yet, he might go do it now. But David doesn't know where the fire rod is yet, so he doesn't know that Mire is also required early. And we do see that Skullwoods check from Wulfy. So there's a total of 2 items in Skullwoods. However, without Fire Rod, you can only get like half the chest. There's one of the items right there. So it could be nice to quickly check, especially if you're going north. David catches...
Sees the fire rod and goes... Probably a happy water jiggle from David and not so much frustration.
So it is an interesting call from Wulfy. He knows where Fire Rod is, but he's gonna take a look at the items anyway in Skullwoods. Because, hey, Mire could be here.
Yeah, I've seen Mire in Skullwoods a few times. Same thing with Boots in Skullwoods. I've seen it a couple of times, and in those instances when it is necessary to have. Wulfy forced to keep going on.
He did pick up the big key, so he's going to do a bomb jump here. Check out the chest. There's one more chest he could access after this, which is where the big key usually is.
Yeah, the mummy room. Or not mummy, Gibdo room.
Yeah.
Those Gibdos. But Wulfy does have the Cane of Samaria, so it doesn't actually have to deal with him. It just kind of goes up, removes the skull pot, and drops that Samaria block down.
So, thinking about what locations they can get to, there's only a few dungeons they actually have access to, and none that they can actually complete.
Yeah, I think we've seen them get close to Eastern Palace, but nobody decided to... Oh, wait. I can't think if we've seen Eastern. I don't think we have.
We haven't seen Eastern yet.
I'm mixing up a different race. But yeah, so Eastern definitely hasn't been touched yet. We saw Skull Woods didn't really pay out. And I think Palace of Darkness is... actually, Palace of Darkness, yeah, that's about it. Without the Ice Rod, they can't really get any far in Ice Palace at all.
So that's actually interesting. I think Eastern is the best bet in terms of dungeons for how many items you can actually access. You can definitely get 2, at least 2.
We see Wulfy doing the Sahasrahla check. Was not here earlier. OhHeyItsDavid did pick up the 2 red rupees and the piece of heart. But this is great for Wulfy because since he's never been in this area, he's going to check these chests and then go straight into Eastern. It's always a tough call to put off certain areas for later, in lieu of being able to like go farther and or check multiple chests while you're in that area. And a Sahasrahla and Eastern combo is always favorable.
That's true. That is a handcrafted arrow. I mean, you pay 500 rupees for an arrow, it better be the best arrow ever made. It's better than silver arrows.
I mean, if you've ever seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, it's got to be that famous arrow. It'll go through the crowd. It'll inspire the wave, and it'll go straight through the bullseye.
All right. So, as I mentioned, there's a total of 3 items here. Armos could be holding an item, in which case Wulfy can only get 2, and he just picked up his first one. David's gonna make his way into Skull Woods.
Yeah, gonna be kind of disappointed at that, but OhHeyItsDavid did check Hobo and got himself that tempered sword.
So, one thing I want to point out is that they could rescue the dwarves at this point, since they have the Titan's mitts. That's another new change with this version, where you can go get the frog, and save and quit, and the dwarf will follow you, and then you can go back and deliver him to the blacksmith house. So, I mean, that could be where the progression is. We're actually running out of locations until they get something. Either Wulfy's going to find something here in Eastern, or they're really going to have to find some items. They didn't turn into mushroom yet, have they?
They have not. They both. We saw David head off to Catfish, but didn't return to go check out and see what the witches is brewing.
Wulfy picks up the flute.
Beautiful.
That is a progression item.
Yeah, because sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just the 2 things in Mire, but it's still good to find.
Yeah, I love that, and that also gives him information onto what Mire needs as far as a medallion.
Yep.
So that's more information for Wulfy to gain on OhHeyItsDavid, because at this point they're caught up on knowledge and items outside of what Wulfy just found in Eastern.
I mean, sometimes knowledge can be just as good as finding some items. Like knowing what you need to do to progress, or when you can enter go mode, could make a difference in this run.
Oh yeah, the latter, especially the latter.
Yeah, they've already been up to Death Mountain as much as they could do. So sadly, that's not it. And there's the 3rd item for Wulfy. So just the flute. We'll see where that leads. That will also lead him over to Desert to check. I mean, we haven't seen Desert yet. There's a ledge item that they can scope out for knowledge, and there's also a Genus Cave, which is one of the items they can access. And now with flute, they can get there much faster. Yeah, and yes, that's a good point. Witches, they can quickly go to Witch and turn in that mushroom.
Looks like OhHeyItsDavid is choosing the Death Warp. Unfortunately, the Wallmaster did get a hold of him. Didn't have that block for the Cane of Samaria to push down just far enough, and he ended up getting nabbed by that guy. It's one of the biggest troubles in Skull Woods is just that Wallmaster, man. He's everywhere, and he's out to get you.
All right, there's some swag ducks and Chak. Wulfy activating his flute. let's see. David might be doing the dwarves, like I mentioned.
He might.
Right,
I don't think that we've seen him also check the hammer pegs. I know we saw Wolfie do it.
He might be like combining 2 for 1, like doing this. Maybe for the purple chest, he'll go back.
All right, let's see what
mushroom. Oh, just red rupee.
We're both sitting there hoping like fetch quest.
Hey, we still have magic powder and shovel. We got some fetch quests in our future.
Sick Kid 2 is in the play for OhHeyItsDavid, finding that bottle on Pyramid.
Yeah. We have no idea what the Sick Kid has. It can be difficult without Mire to like route your way back to town.
We also got to compliment OhHeyItsDavid on his excellent whack-a-mole skills. Obviously, a lot of practice went in adolescence.
And just a heart container from Agena. So, flute. It looks like Wolfie will use that flute. There's still 2 items in the Mire region that he can access now.
I think something's got to be there. I mean, we're drastically running out of options.
It's
unless
either going to be there or like here the dwarves the purple chest.
Pod, if it's a small key, could have something leading around there.
That's always annoying to have to double dip pod.
Oh yeah. But Bo first chest pod. I mean,
what?
the dream, the dream troll.
Quake. It looks like to get into Mire. All right, here's the 2 chests that Wolfie can access with his flute. And there's an ice rod, which isn't progressive, but it is a necessary item. So it's good to get it out of the way. There's the mirror on David's side. So dwarves was the progression. And this is what I was talking about. Before to do dwarves, you needed Mire. And why is he visiting the bat?
I'm not too sure.
What?
What?
This is a thing?
I'm kind of confused at what we just saw here.
That was a glitch. I mean, probably a minor glitch. I don't know.
Can
commentators got school. I'm pretty sure that's fine. Minor glitch. You know, we have fake flippers and everything. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I've never seen that. So what even was that? Like, Canis and Mario pushed up to a certain spot, spammed the torch, go back to the mushroom, and then like throw the mushroom at the bat, and he's like, "All right, this works." You got me. Excellent show. Oh boy, excellent show.
Back to David. Well, we never left David. He picked up the mirror, which is definitely a progression item. And in the old logic, you would need Mire to access the dwarves. And since they changed it, they can walk him back. Now it could be a potential location for Mire, which it was. So David has the mirror. He can also go pick up Fire Rod at any point, which gives him access to the rest of Skull Woods. I think there's still one more item in Skull Woods. And Mire gets him access into Death Mountain. Like, he can go visit Tower Hera. He can go to the right-hand side.
Yeah, OhHeyItsDavid getting that mirror blows open the seat for him. Unfortunately, Wolfie still needing to find that mirror is really constrained for what locations to check. We may unfortunately see Wolfie going into pod to hope for some kind of progression.
Yeah, he needs to do that dwarf. That is the progression. It's going up to because he can flute. So the fastest location to go when you do a save and quit and return, is technically mountain, because you can get the old man for full health and you can leave right away, or you can just leave. It's like the closest entrance or exit to the door. Oh, did he not go up here earlier? I thought he did.
I thought he did too.
Now, it's interesting what David's doing. He has, like, all of these places open to him, but he's making the pod gamble. Oh, he's doing Spike Cave.
I was about to say, it's like, I just thought about that. It's like, Wolfie's got to go to Spike Cave.
This is a far walk to get for one item. He's he's digging into all of these deep locations because he knows it's somewhere.
Yeah, this is the tough part. I mean, that mirror would really help out Wolfie at this moment, but at the same time, that flute would really help out David. So while they all have one item ahead of each other, it's debatable which one is better. And unfortunately, OhHeyItsDavid not necessarily using the mirror, I guess, where some other people would utilize it to get access. Ooh, and there's the big... Yep, there's the bow lock.
So you need a small key to progress, otherwise you need the bow. But hey, I mean, you got the big key out of the way, so you can just visit whatever chest you want once you go back there. Yeah. But we know they need bow. They already have hammer, so the moment they get bow, that becomes a completable dungeon.
Alright, so...
Ice Palace, they don't... Oh, because they can get Fire Rod. That's true, that also unlocks Ice Palace in addition to Skull. Oh no, Wolfie making the same gamble. Yeah, they need that Mire, pick up Fire Rod, you can beat Skull Woods, you can go, you can complete Ice, because really you need Fire Rod and Hammer, and that's all you need to beat, well, and you need Mitts and Flippers to get there, but...
Yeah, David's so close to getting that flute. I can't really think of like too many things that Wolfie could find just out there that would even the amount of like gain that David is having right now.
I'm pretty sure he checked all the locations but dwarves that you can get to at this point.
Yeah, I think that is the last thing.
Yeah, Hera is open with the mirror. There's flute for David. And Wolfie's gonna get his big key. And then he should know what's left, hopefully. Oh, Nope,
there it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's that little bit of a slower reaction to it, but still, they know. Both of our runners know. I just think at this point, like, Wolfie is trying to grab for straws. Like, what haven't I checked? Say, okay, we'll go here. All right, well, that didn't pay off, so... I think where Wolfie is going next is Kakariko Village. Yep, exactly. So David finishing out the rest of the chest that he can access is going to be excited to find out that, you know, Eastern Palace, there's nothing that needs to be done save Armos if, you know, Pedestal is still required for the seed.
So I will point out that unless Bo is like at Mire or that mirror spot that's in the Mire area, then you didn't actually need to double dip pod in this seed. It really depends on where Bo is.
Yeah. So here we go. Cool. Wolfie is going to get his mirror.
And he can do flute for a quick transport.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Wolfie heading over to Desert and being able to possibly check, probably check that push block maze and then maybe dip into Desert.
That's a good point. He can get into Desert. We have all of Death Mountain. There's so many places. Just pick up the Fire Rod. That unlocks 2 dungeons. There's so much progression that the mirror opens up.
Oh, absolutely. And especially with the knowledge, I think David right now is going to get his Fire Rod. We see him making his way down to Hylia. Yep.
It probably would have been faster to do a save and quit and go to Link's house and take the portal, maybe, than walking through the dark. I don't know.
It sounds like it'd be faster.
We're getting the fire rod.
Yeah, fortunately, Wolfie doesn't either know about that bat glitch, or does know about it but doesn't want to utilize it to check that location. But still, man, that bat glitch caught me off guard.
All right, so Wolfie instantly goes up to Death Mountain. We have 2 items in Tower of Hera. We have 8. Wait. 1, 2. Yeah, 8 items over in Light World Death Mountain. They can access the Dark World Death Mountain, which unlocks an additional 4 items because you can get the one on top of the mountain when you're over there. No hookshot. Oh, sorry, 3 because he doesn't have dash boots. So 3 items.
Yeah, can't. Wait, what do you need dash boots on Death Mountain for?
Hookshot Cave. You can get the bottom chest in Hookshot
Oh,
Cave.
yes, correct. I was trying to think about. I was just thinking about Death Mountain itself, and I didn't think about Hookshot Cave.
So there are 2 items in Tower Hera. Wolfie just picked up one of them, which is a small shield. This is still a crystal dungeon, though, so he's going to complete it while he's here. And hopefully the second item isn't in the basement, but it could be.
Yeah, having to go all the way back through Hera just to get through that tile room for that final item. It's one of those anxiety kind of like locations where you're like, do I take the gamble? Do I just leave it there? Or do I spend like the 30 to 45 seconds getting through that room? All right, Wolfie gonna have to drop through at the bottom, choosing not to bomb jump.
It's a trigger bomb, and missing it could use up a lot of time. So I can understand not doing it.
Yeah, falling in Hera is, depending on which of the star platforms that have been triggered, can be much farther. So far, still haven't seen that second item.
Hopefully Moldorm has it. But Moldorm could drop a burrito, and then, well, we're going down to the basement.
Wouldn't mind to see that Hera basement. I always love me a good Space Invader cameo.
That's right, what the tiles become.
I do find it funny that that's every single tile room it becomes that. It's not a separate Space Invader, it's that exact same one.
So Moldorm, very quick worked with the Tempered Sword, only requires a spin and a slash. And we have a burrito, so the second item is in the basement. We're going to see that Space Invader. David's picking up his Ice Rod, and he'll probably go continue. He might stop in the desert, because you can just mirror into there now. And there's also that Checkerboard Cave. Which it looks
I'm thinking Checkerboard is going to be first and then desert.
Alright, Wolfie is going to continue downstairs. And he has Sword Beam, so he could do the glitch that lets him take a break. Oh, 50 rupees. Oh, no, he's just gonna do the work.
So
the
no
book
desert
can be in the pedestal now. They removed it being a requirement, so yeah, you can totally get the book at pedestal for all you know. And medallions of vanilla, sure, why not?
Yeah, a book and pedestal would be just really scary for that blind pull.
So David right on Wolfie's heels. Oh, Ether.
All right.
We don't know if that's necessary yet.
Yeah, I was about to say, we don't know what Totorock needs. But it's still good to get one of the 3 out of the way. So it's a 33% chance that Wolfie has one of the medallions necessary.
Yeah, we know he needs Quake to get into Mire. So they're still going to be looking for Quake.
All right, and this is all new for us. We haven't seen this side of Death Mountain from either of our contenders.
Oh!
Boots!
Boots on the mountaintop!
Oh no!
Well, they can get there. That's
Yeah, they
fine.
can. I like that. It's just like the boots there, and then it leads to another chest. The one that you have to bonk to. Perhaps does that have hookshot, allowing for a full hookshot cave check, or does Wolfie know how to hover?
I don't think I've seen Wolfie hover before, but hey, maybe he picked it up. I was watching the Andy race yesterday, and he hovered in Hookshot Cave. Boots into Hookshot. That sure, it can be in that chest.
Hookshot cave actually containing hookshot would be interesting.
Its namesake.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that in. I don't think I've seen that ever.
Dave is going to do a bomb jump here, the risky one.
Gotta get a little bit closer. There we go. Oh,
He had it. That looks pretty good too.
yeah, just wanted to be doubly sure. Because yeah, it is about 20 seconds to get right back up here. I love that little trick. To get past that little bit of flame, you can actually be looking left and get by it without getting hit at all. We see a lot of people sit there and wait for that fire to kind of dissipate before continuing on.
A fetch quest shovel up a Death Mountain. Maybe that leads the hook shot. If only.
But we know where Wolfie's going soon. We know Wolfie's gonna get his boots. He's gonna get his red stilettos.
There's no way he's gonna pass that up while he's here. He's gonna so he can get 2 chests in the Super Bunny Cave, aptly named given his sprite. And
it is his cave today.
Boots. Yep. Maybe scope out, see what medallion is needed for Turtle Rock.
All right, we're probably gonna see a tile room choice from David here. But if not, and that gamble doesn't pay off, and Turtle Rock is Ether, nah, he's going back in. Can't leave that chest unchecked.
No. You don't want that, like, thinking about it the whole race, like, oh, what did I miss? Oh, I never got the item Tower of Hera. You got a blue suit and 300 rupees in the Super Bunny chest.
He's rich and we living, boys. Having trouble getting that little glitch, but stuck in there now.
See, for a moment I thought he left the cave as Bunny Link, like, whoops. Ether is needed for Turtle Rock, so it's a good thing David is picking his up right now. So the stars next to those dungeons, Desert and Misery Mire, so those are important dungeons. Desert Palace is the green pendant. That's why there's a star next to it. That unlocks the Sahasasrahla item. There are stars next to Palace of Darkness and Mire. You collect both of those crystals, you can go visit the Fat Fairy. So it's just so you know which ones are important. Wolfie gets his boots. He'll probably just check the bonk chest while he's here. It's going the long way, sort of. I mean, it's about the same. Because you can also fall off that ledge.
Yeah, I could have jumped down.
And David's about to spy his boots if he takes a look at the hilltop.
Just bombs. Alright, well, at least Wolfie having boots opens up a couple of additional locations. The bonk routes right next to Sanctuary and King's Tomb.
Good locations to check. And of course, it speeds up the whole rest of the run.
Now, OhHeyItsDavid, having both the Fire Rods and Ice Rod, is going to check T-Rock here. Now, he has Ether. Is it Ether? It is Ether.
Oh, he's going in? Or is he just opening it and leaving? Because he's going to want those boots first, right? He can beat it!
Yeah, he can beat it.
Ice Rod, Ether, Kane. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just opening it. But the thing is without that hook shot, he's gonna have to do the long way around for that fire rod room to light them torches.
I really hope we see a Turtle Rock play. That would be neat.
Yeah, I like to see early Turtle Rock. I mean, not when I'm playing, but I mean, when I'm watching other people seeing a necessary early Turtle Rock. All right, so Wolfie checking this mirror spot above, and it's just a heart.
I mean, I don't think he did the Flanktuary in Kingston yet, right? He might be rolling those together with the Graveyard Ledge. Like,
yeah, that's where he's going. I probably would have left the mirror spot above the Grove, fluted over to Kakariko, and then used that Dark World location. Alright, those Bonk Ronks, and then the Graveyard mirror location.
Man, Turtle Rock might be the progression. But David is... Oh, he didn't check these chests yet, because he took the Turtle Rock portal. Which is good, because he gets a blue suit here. Which you can't really see the difference in his sprite, but he has it.
And there's Butter Sword for Wolfie.
Oh, jeez.
Not what he wanted to see, but, I mean, Butter Sword makes some of the bosses much faster.
How about this? There are no swords in Ganon's Tower this seed.
That is great. I think this is probably the first time in a long time that I haven't seen a sword in G Tower.
Looks like we're going to get a shovel check on Woofy's end.
Or actually, we didn't see a single sword in a dungeon either. These were all overworld swords.
That's funny. It's a heart container. Wow, look at this healthy seed. 16 hearts already. We only have 2 crystals. And they have 16 hearts already.
Yeah,
and butter.
16 in gold. Yeah, 16 in butter for Wolfie, and looking like 11 and tempered for David.
Alright, so we have Mire. We have flippers, but no hookshot. Wolfie might be making a gamble on Swamp to see if maybe hookshot is in there or some other progression. Remember, they can't continue pod until they get a bow. They can't beat Eastern until they get a bow. Desert is on the table. I don't remember how many items we've seen in that. Didn't David go in?
Nope. He checked the checkerboard cave and dipped out.
So they can complete Desert. That is completable, but it's a pendant. But it's a green pendant. So Sahasrahla item. So that would be 3 total items in Desert. We have 6 total items in Turtle Rock.
I thought there was only 2 in Desert.
2 plus Sahasrahla pendant.
Oh yes, correct. Sorry. It is the green pendant.
Yep, it makes it a little more appealing at least. Oh, no early Turtle Rock. That's a shame. I don't know. I feel like if you're already up there, you have everything to beat it. You should just go beat it.
Yeah, I mean, he can complete the whole thing. I mean, the only thing that is just not appealing about it is just the hookshot. But I mean, Turtle Rock has known to hold some really interesting items, such as the bow. You can have the bow in Turtle Rock.
Yep. Now it's sort of it's a hard call to make when you're elsewhere, and it's like, well, where else can I go? Turtle Rock is a possible location. But when you're already up on Death Mountain, you're not losing that much time just going in at that point.
Yeah, and I think, let's see, we're approaching an hour in. We're at 2 crystals, and the crystal, like the times that they obtain these crystals are about 20 minutes. It was about like 30 minutes in when they had 1 crystal, and about 40 to 50 minutes when they had 2 crystals. So it's seeming like the rest of this is going to be pretty quick. The items I need to acquire in order to finalize and just go mode these dungeons.
I think they're 3 items away. They need bow, they need hookshot, and they need quake. I think that's the only things they need. Yeah, pretty sure that's all they need.
You are correct, sir.
And there's the bow! What a play!
Beautiful.
Bow in swamp without the hookshot.
Yeah, but oh man, if bow's here and hookshot isn't here, that means that a double dip, and that is if hookshot is in pod, a double dip into Swamp Palace is necessary, which is
oh man,
that's kind of heartbreaking. You have to trigger all of those water switches again.
I mean, I was hoping to see like hookshot up at Turtle Rock. It would still be interesting. I don't know. This pod could have the worth, or still Turtle Rock is on the table. We got bow, so we still need hookshot and quake. But yeah, like, oh, they got all 3 items in Eastern, so they don't need to go back there unless pedestal's required, which we still don't know. Because they don't have book, they can't check pedestal.
Ooh, OhHeyItsDavid having a little bit of trouble with that mirror spot. Might be good on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to just do the beginning water pump. Oh, excuse me. You have to do the water pump to get into the dungeon, and I don't think he did. He
nah, he didn't flood the key. He picked it up.
Yeah, because he doesn't have hookshot, so you can't flood the key. Yeah, there's 2 water pumps. The one to get inside, and then there's the one like 2 rooms down, like right in the beginning.
Yeah, one more chest for Wolfie to check in Swamp Palace before he has to dip out.
I mean, Bo's a great find. He's going to go right over, complete pod. There's 5 total items in there. He can get all of them.
Probably after exiting pod, gonna check, gonna get himself the fire rod.
Yeah, he still hasn't gotten that. Yeah, he can just... No, maybe? Oh, okay. He's thinking about, I guess, mirroring and walking over. Purple chest check. I don't think we've seen Old Stumpy yet. David's gonna visit Old Stumpy here. Oh, he hasn't done the shovel. That's what he's doing over here.
Yeah, sorry, my mic was muted. I was trying to say, it's like, yeah, I did think that we saw STEM Kid.
I don't remember what Stumpy had, but I don't think it was anything.
Yeah, because we saw Wolfie go that route underneath to go to Thieves Refuge.
Yeah, purple chest could have some worth. We're missing 2 items. We have no idea where they are. Given that one of them is hookshot, that limits a few locations, but you know, we still have Ice Palace. We have Pod, of course. We have Turtle Rock. Those are all possible locations, and we have the pedestal. Could be hookshot.
Yeah.
All those places.
I'm super excited. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say Fat Fairy could be hookshot, but only if they find Quake.
Yeah, and I'm really liking what Wolfie's doing right now. Going into pod, 5 items here. Yeah, that is a good point. Chat's saying that Wolfie doesn't need Fire Rod right now. Only needs Fire Rod for Turtle Rock. So, like, routing to that is one of those things that you can kind of, like, decide, like, well, you know, I'll get it when I absolutely need to. Let's just get through this seed.
I suspect if he doesn't get anything of worth here in pod, he'll probably get the Fire Rod to decide to go, you know, finish Skullwoods and or do Ice. Which is where we see David heading right now.
I'm liking this. We're seeing 2 fresh dungeons, getting some more information on where items are in the seed.
So since he has the big key, he doesn't really need to do the middle chest just yet. He can like do that later on and see what's worth back here first. Skullwoods didn't pay off earlier. So the question is, who's making the good call? Bombos, which isn't progression, because you can get Fire Rod to get into Ice Palace.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I mean, if Fire Rod wasn't anywhere close to Ice Palace, Wulfy might have been happy to see the Bombos here, because it would have given him access to complete Ice Palace.
Right.
Although not ideal. I mean, the whole Bombos animation does take up quite a bit of time.
The only thing it really saves is magic, but I mean, you have Butter Sword, it's not that bad. It looks like David is skipping doing the bomb jump, thinking, you know, he has the Cane of Samaria. He's probably going to do a full clear anyway, so you might as well just skip doing the bomb jump. You're going to have the big key.
So I think Wulfy's counting keys right now does not need to. Oh, he's gonna do it anyway. I think this is gonna end up being a key for a key, or has he not checked the one underneath?
Oh no,
he hasn't checked the one underneath. Okay.
Yeah. And that was a piece of heart. And then this down here will be a small key. You need a small key to go to the boss. So really, no worth. Bow was worth, but that was over in Swamp.
But we did see both the compass and the map here, so Helmsor's got an item.
That's true, yeah. We have a blue cane over on David's side, which is not progression at all, since they already had Kate. Yep, it's the lag cane.
Alright, still 3 more chests for David to check in Ice Palace.
And what, he got cane? Did he get any other item here? Or is it just the blue cane
so far? I've only seen 1 item. Ooh, nice.
Big key's good to get it out of the way. He doesn't have hookshot, so you really want to make sure you fall down here to get the big chest.
Yeah, you don't want to have to reroute this entire area.
It's a shield.
Small shield. Alright, so either the double jelly room or Cold Stairs got an item here. Ooh, man. Almost getting winged by that ice golem.
So where is that hookshot? That's the question. Chat, where do you think hookshot is? We got a bunch of things where it could be. It could be in desert, because we haven't seen that yet. It could be at the pedestal. I'm sure you're all happy to see something like that. It could be up in Turtle Rock. That's Trolley.
I believe it could also be at the double-chested fairy.
Right. But they have to find Quake first. Man, okay, Quake up at Turtle Rock. That fairy has hookshot. How about that? That's a bit of fun.
Or Sahasrahla held the hookshot the whole time.
Alright, King Helmsar drops a red boomerang. The worst boomerang, in my opinion.
Uh-oh. David having a little bit of trouble here with Cold Stare.
Now, it's only, I think, 4 slashes total to beat the Cotton Puffs. He's alright.
Yeah, Gold Sword does make it a lot safer, but still, early in that fight, yeah, it was taking a...
Skip the iced tea room, the 2 jellies?
I believe he did.
That's an item, because he just got a small key, and he was just banging his head against the wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's probably like, oh man, I gotta go back in there.
Ether at pedestal.
Yeah, he's
Fire
going
Rod.
back in.
Well, we know where Fire Rod is. Fire Rod is where Wolfie's going, sort of.
Yeah, I think that's what Wolfie started realizing is like, all right, I gotta get the Fire Rod. Whatever, I have bombos. It's fine.
Yeah, he can go in with bombos. And David has to go back through because of that item. So, oh man, he didn't really save time there. I mean, I think Wolfie getting that bow is gonna. I don't know.
It's hard to say. I mean,
it's hard to see. Yeah, it depends. If pedestal has Quake or hookshot, then yeah, I think that's gonna pay off for Wolfie. Otherwise, David's eventually gonna be in swamp looking for items, and he should get that one.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I'm thinking. I mean, since David has to go through this entire dungeon again just to check one whole chest, Wolfie is probably going to route the entire dungeon altogether. Actually, no, wait. Can you still route this entire dungeon without the hookshot?
Yes.
In one go?
The way to do it, so there's a couple of bomb jumps you can make in order to do that. Because you can actually take the door south of the big giant ice room. That's a key door. If you have an extra key, you can go south. That leads to the iced tea room. Alternatively, you could do a bomb jump in the hookshot, like where you have the hookshot. You could do a bomb jump there to get over. Well, let's see what David does. He has an extra small key, so he's probably just going to take that bottom entrance that I mentioned. I like checking the iced tea room. I don't know. I'm mixing it up, but I used to do it right before I would go down the cold stair, but I started routing this dungeon a little differently recently. So here's the iced tea room. It's just a red rupee for his trouble. Oh. No progression.
Now, if Wolfie decides just to blast through this dungeon without, like, searching for anything, and just does his dungeon go mode, can make up quite a bit of time on David. Decides not to. Decides to play it safe. I like that. I mean, we know it's not really going to pay off for Wolfie. He's going to get himself a Cane of Burna. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking we're going to be seeing Turtle Rock here within, I'd say, the next 10 minutes. There's going to be a play over at Turtle Rock.
Oh, I see. Okay. Fiesel's bringing in the second stream now.
Yeah, so we were told this beforehand, but there is another race that's happening. So we're going to be commentating essentially 2 races right now.
Don't worry, we know the panic baskets. Fiesel's on it. It's coming, folks. And luckily, Wolfie is in Ice Palace. We already know what items are there. David just entered Swamp, it looks like. We already know it's there, so we're not missing out on anything. Fiesel will fix the stream, and then we'll be ready. David didn't find the hook shot.
In the meantime, we can take a little bit of time to check in with you guys. Are you guys having fun? Are you guys excited to see a double race just pop up out of the blue? Were you guys even expecting this? What a twist.
Surprise. Extra race.
Surprise extra large. Got people excited to see Turtle Rock.
Now, our 2 other racers who will be Levon Firestorm versus Feral Pigman. I apologize if I say either of their names incorrectly. They are going to be running a different seed compared to this one. So, all new items, you can actually, their hash is different than what hash was shown for Wolfie and David. And it looks like Feral Pigman using the Santa sprite and another Shadow Link. Feral Pigman. Yeah, while they finish their respective dungeons, I do want to point out, make sure you give our runners a follow. Someone just posted the link there. So give Wulfy and David a follow. We'll be adding the other 2 racers into that follower command.
Okay, good. I was starting to get worried here if I needed to like restart my my commentary stream because just everything was so big, but I figured they were just getting everything all set up and then just restart it in there. So awesome layout looking.
And we get trackers for everyone. Our tracker here, I don't know how to say his name. Epibliticos? Oh dear. I don't know how it's Epi. Sure. Yes, let's go with that. That's easy. Yeah, David has the bow. I'm gonna pull up their streams so I can see.
Yeah, because everything's frozen over here for me, unfortunately.
Okay, so David is finishing Swamp. He's over on the left-hand side. Wulfy's picking up his fire rod right now.
Gotcha. So Wulfy's already finished with Ice Palace?
Yeah. So he has that crystal. He finished. I'm assuming he got all the items there, even though we know that it's no big deal if he hasn't. And Wulfy's now making the play. He's heading up. He's at Death Mountain. He might be going to Turtle Rock right now.
Beautiful.
I mean, you need a fire rod before you can complete it anyway. I will point out again, I don't know if there's an item at Skullwoods. Maybe they got both earlier. So it's not on the table. But again, desert is also a possibility. But it's a crystal dungeon. You can get Turtle Rock out of the way. It's not too bad. But Wulfy's going up on the left-hand side by Tower Hera. I'm not sure why he went that way. It's a little fish. Oh, he doesn't have hookshot. That's why he goes that way. David, now that he picked up the bow, he's going right in the pot. So this is the item that he was missing earlier, so he couldn't complete it. So he's going to do a full clear. So it looks like Wulfy's actually a crystal ahead at this point. Oh, okay, you guys can see the stream now. That's good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm still in the dark over here.
Yeah, same. The restream's not working for us. So I'll continue on. Yeah, so David just started pod, and Wulfy is opening up Turtle Rock. So we know there's nothing of worth in pod itself because Wulfy was in there earlier. Don't worry, Feasel will fix it. So David's in the arrow area that you need to kill the mimics with the bow, so that way he can pick up the small key and continue on in the pod. Let's see what Wulfy picks up. Wulfy just started Turtle Rock. Probably going to get a lot of small keys in the beginning.
I think you might just have to multi-twitch this.
Oh, and Wulfy, since he's missing the hookshot, he's doing the long way around to light the torches. I don't know if you guys can see that yet. Maybe you'll see that. It's like the path of shame when you accidentally go down instead of up. All right, Wulfy picked up the big key in the roller room on the right-hand side. So, big key. He has 2 small keys. Technically, he could just go. Maybe he'll be lucky with the way the small keys fall. But since he's looking for hookshot, he's probably going to do a full clear of this dungeon. Now, the laser room inside of Turtle Rock, as a requirement, it either requires Mirror Shield, Cane, Blue Cane, or Magic Cape. And of course, we have 2 of those things. So it could be there. It could be in Mimic Cave.
So we're seeing Wolfie getting through the chain shot room. Now, I'm excited to see what kind of secrets that Turtle Rock does have, though. That last room possibly hookshot?
You don't see anything on the restream yet, do you?
No. I got the multi-twitch up.
Okay.
And then are other 2 racers up, or?
It looks like Fiesel might be moving them to Speed Gaming 3.
Okay, so we'll just be getting back to Wolfie and OhHeyItsDavid.
Ooh, just a compass and a big key chest for Wolfie.
Yeah, looking like, has to do the full clear of this dungeon, and oh no!
Oh, a death from OhHeyItsDavid.
Gotcha. Okay, so they are moving it to Speed Gaming 3. So if you want to see that race that's just about to start, it's going to be over at Speed Gaming 3. Bummer, man. I was kind of looking forward to doing these double races.
So sorry if I actually spoil things, since I'm watching Wolfie stream itself. I'll have to delay whatever I say by 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'll try to do the same as well. It's gonna be just as challenging, yeah. Ooh, Wolfie gonna be doing Mimic Cave, Mimic Cave.
Yeah, Mimic Cave. It's funny how often I've been seeing this cave.
But how often has it been paying off? I mean, we've seen some interesting items in the Mimic Cave, like Torch and what? And Quake?
Oh, hey, look, guys! He just picked up Quake. A required item. We can see hookshot now over at Mire, because you need either boots or hookshot to get in, and they have boots. So it paid off. So you had to come to Turtle Rock early. There was no other question. Turtle Rock early because you need to get Quake to go to Mire.
So Quack Medallion in hand, just needs that hookshot, if I'm not mistaken, for go mode, just for Wolfie.
Oh, they're still saying spoilers. How much do we have to wait, guys?
Maybe we'll just be vague about it. And Wolfie found some item, and then when the chat explodes, we'd be like, yes, it was! Oh no. Them commentaries spoiled too much.
Oh, hey, look, hookshot. Just kidding.
You devil, you.
Alright, it looks like it's working for us now, so no more spoilers.
Alright, cool. Sweet. Alright, Wolfie making his way down to the laser skip room. What's he gonna find?
He's gonna bomb for safety. You go outside, that way in case you die, you just respawn right here and don't have to do the whole dungeon again. And David is on his epic battle against King Helmasaur.
Gonna be super quick though, with this gold sword. We'll be having a little bit of trouble with these laser skips. There it is! The hook shot.
Wow, hookshot and quake inside of one dungeon.
Yeah, putting Wulfy in go mode.
Wulfy's in go mode. He still has to do. Let's see. He has to finish swamp and.
Oh, he still needed the small key. I was like, why is he going back? He was too excited to see that hook shot.
It was in the what? Which one did he forget?
No, don't die, Wulfy! Don't die! You have to mirror.
Did he not get the pokey key?
Oh, he's healing.
Oh, he wanted the health refresh. I didn't see him open it, so I was a little confused. But okay, we're
heart
back on
attacks
track.
Over here. We're like, Wulfy, what are you doing?
Oh, no, David is going in the desert. Now we know where all the progression is, and Wulfy's on track.
Yeah, Wulfy's set to go.
Like he beats Swamp, he beats Mire, he's done. Adds his crystals.
This is gonna be a real easy try next. Gold sword, 2 slashes. Or 3 slashes, done.
Yeah, Wulfy definitely knows Silverless. He's a veteran, one of our top 8. Was he a top 4, I think?
Yeah. He got the
Oh sorry, he was top 8. He was top 8.
Yeah. He got the free buy into the tournament. But I still believe he did some placement matches just for Z-score.
Well, the scores they weren't calculated for any of the pre-qualified. They were just pretended they weren't even there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so Speed Gaming 3 will have the next race, which is Levant Firestorm versus Feral Pigman. We might still be commentating that, so they haven't started yet. So you guys can just relax here, wait for our racers to finish up, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to do it all on one stream. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit too much with everything else that's going on right now. There was just I think when 3 of them were loaded, it was causing one of the other ones to crash. So we just resources couldn't be there for it.
Yeah, so make sure everyone you give a follow to Speed Gaming 3 so you don't miss any of this racing action. And I think we're also doing Randomizer Mania for the Overflow.
For the secondary tournament.
Yeah.
So yeah, there will not be too much of a lull in your need for speedrunning and your need for Randomizer this tournament. We have 2 full-blown tournaments going.
For Link to the Past, and not to mention all the other randomizers out there.
Oh yeah, we got Super Metroid Randomizer, and are they still doing the Final Fantasy one?
I think so.
And I think it might have been a Mega Man, but I think it was just a full-on Mega Man speedrun. So yeah, tons of randomizers around.
I don't know if Fiesel actually sleeps.
Spoiler alert, Fiesel has a twin and never sleeps.
Oh, that's the trick. It's like, oh, so I was about to give spoilers. It's probably good that I didn't say anything. About a particular movie that I won't say any names about, but there you go. So just an update on the other race. They haven't started yet. They're setting things up, maybe grabbing a commentator or 2, unless we're gonna move over. Oh, David being dead rocked. So he's making his way up to Turtle Rock. We know that's where the worth is. I guess there weren't too many other locations for him, so...
Yeah, just think about how much the sea would have blown open for David had he done
early.
Turtle Rock exactly when he opened it.
If he had done that, he probably would have done Swamp right away, and he would have been in go mode with Bow.
Yeah.
And he would have just skipped Ice Palace. Like, you could do the any percent route in Ice Palace.
Yeah, and that would have been like, what, 30 minutes ago is when David was up around this area. That's crazy.
So if you're new to Rando, trying to get, get some runs going, one of the pieces of advice I will say is if you can do a dungeon, fully clear it, go do it. Especially with V26, I've seen a lot of items in dungeons that you need. So, like, especially if it's a crystal dungeon, you're getting a crystal no matter what, but you might as well full clear it if you're in the area.
Yeah, with pendant dungeons, you kind of want to make that guess of like, all right, do I want to pick up a pendant if pedestal is required or if it has an item? But like, if you're counting items and you still haven't seen the compass or the map and it's a pendant dungeon, taking that risk to not actually fully complete it. But I would still full complete a green pendant if I could. Just don't forget to check Sahasasrahla.
So Wulfy gets his 6th crystal. David's making his way through Turtle Rock. Unfortunately, oh wait, no, he should have. We missed it because it was during the restream issues, but he should have the pod crystal as well. But he still has to, after he's done this, he's still also going to have to beat Swamp and Mire, so he's a good dungeon away from Wulfy at this point. Wulfy in go mode is you can see how fast he's going at this point. Yeah, I think David's audio is just louder than Wulfy's, which is the audio issue that you're having.
All right, that should be better. David's volume got turned down a little bit.
David's too noisy.
Audio quality too strong. Alright, so we're finally going to see some chests in Mire.
We'll see how many. Because Wulfy's in go mode. As soon as he gets that big key, he's going right to the boss. Doesn't have to look for anything else.
I'm going to guess second chest is where the big key is.
We have that guessing game for Ganon's Tower. We really should have one for Mire. There is so many worthless chests that just have small keys in this dungeon.
Alright, so there's one small key. About to get a second one over here.
Oh, just a compass.
My prediction is off. I am not a wizard tonight.
I hate when it's in the room right below that one. Like, past the big chest. That's the one I always check last, and I hate when it's there. Yeah, sometimes you'll see people, they'll go into that room, hit the switch, and then they'll check these two chests, like the one that's up on the grate, and then the one that's just underneath that spike room. Oh, which is what Wulfy might be doing. Silvers on Argus. Oh, well, there's one item. There's 2 total here, and Wulfy just got one of them.
Nice. Yes, Wulfy is checking that chest that you do not like.
I mean, it's time-consuming to do the left-hand side if you do the fire rod part. But
we saw OhHeyItsDavid
this time.
Yeah, we saw OhHeyItsDavid getting his Quake. Gonna be super excited right after the end of this place, but maybe kicking himself a little bit for he opened up this area. And once he sees the hook shot here.
Oh no. If we happen to do interviews, we'll have to ask him about that later. Oh, it's in the big key chest. So
vanilla key.
Pod has 6 keys. Mire doesn't have 6. What does it have? What did he get?
I think it has 4.
Yeah, if we want to count, we count just chest keys, not...
Oh, chest keys 3.
It doesn't matter, because the one under the pie and in the jelly, those are always there. So, discounting those... 1, 2, 3?
It's got to be 2 or 3. I'm trying to think. It's 3, yeah, because the one with the grate has 1. The one that is on the spikes has 1. And then I think there is... Actually, no. It might just be 2.
Well, is the one on the bridge, is that a key or is that an item?
I think it's a compass.
Oh. Here's Hookshot. David's in go mode. Does he know he's in go mode?
I think he knows he's in go mode, but checking one last chest?
Well, it's here. Might as well get it out of the way.
We're wasting so much valuable time.
Just bombs.
Beautiful cane dash. I love that trick. Alright, so no silvers for Wulfy, but Wulfy does have the cape and the gold sword, so we could see that dashing strat.
That's a neat one. And I think it was actually Wulfy. I was talking to him in stream, and he was the one who did a quick test to see if it was faster to do that than spin strats. But, oh, well, we're getting spin strats.
So he must have figured out that it's faster to just spin.
Well, you have to do a menu transition. It's probably close enough that you don't want to waste that menu transition time. It really depends on your heart count. If you didn't have much hearts, do the cape and dash strats.
Alrighty, so David just needs to get through, or he needs to get through Swamp Palace and Mire, and Wulfy is on his way.
Alright, Chad.
Tower.
Guess what time it is?
Oh, you know what time it is.
Get your guesses in for Ganon Tower Big Key. He'll be up there in about 1 more minute. Wait, did he get silvers?
Yeah, he got silvers from Vitreous.
What? Whoever called silvers an Argus, go get yourself a lottery ticket. Because you know it.
Why would they get a lottery ticket for silvers at Argus?
Well, because they're lucky.
I mean, Argus and Vitreous could be cousins.
Oh, he said Argus. That's right. I thought. Never mind. Anyway,
okay.
get your guesses in. I see some guesses already.
Sorry for making you feel awkward, my friend.
Oh, it's all right. You got to call me out on that.
Sorry, I'll DM you some dirt on me.
I like to guess number 14, Bob's chest, for the big key. Nice, fun location.
I'm gonna go lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7.
Actually,
yeah.
For Wulfy's sake, since he's got an 83 in there, I'm gonna guess 5. 8 minus 3, 5.
Okay. Close enough. It's all in the same room. So David's getting the longer, I would say it's the longer dungeon, since full clearing, or not full clearing, any percent swamp is pretty fast. He was already in there, not that it matters. Here, he still has to search for the big king.
Whoa, we're getting math in chat. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to start this.
Wow, we're getting a guess for 21, because instead of 8 minus 3, you have 8 times 3, which is wrong, but okay. 21, apparently.
I think that's why I said wow math.
1 plus 1 equals 3. Small key on the right-hand side. Is he going to continue? 2 small keys on the right-hand side. No, he's not continuing.
It's always one of those moments where you're just like, small key is the next one. Ah, it's not the big key.
Dude, the dream. Another small key on Bob's lamp. Bob's gonna go get dressed. We're not gonna see him this run.
Oh man, goodbye, Bob.
Let's see if David continues. Okay, he's gonna continue on. He doesn't have much magic, that's why he switched the lantern here. Oh, not chest number 5. Or 7.
Bummer.
But
yes,
hey,
I should never play the lottery.
Bob's chest is still there.
Alright, let's see if you continue to be a wizard today.
Sometimes I like it being in the double firebar room. You don't see it very often.
Especially in earlier versions, I always went over here despised. People were like, "No, man, why you should always just skip it." And I have found it there a couple of times, and it's one of those moments where you're just like, "Yes, my theory pays off."
Well, there was actually a point where there was a bug in the randomizer, and it could never be generated there. So that was the early days. So
I think that might have been like version 5, version 6.
Yeah.
And to think how far we've come since then, I mean, we're sitting here on version 26.
Well, 8.26.
Yeah, 8.26.
Actually, I think it's 8.26.2 at this point, because they did some bug fixes.
Versions are weird.
Yeah.
Although it always makes it sound cool the more numbers you have. Build number 846710.
So, David fell behind because he was checking other locations instead of going to Turtle Rock. We have half magic for Wolfie and the bug net. So, David decided to check some other things instead. So he ended up full clearing, well, not full, well, he full cleared pod and everything, but he did some extra checks, and then he went up to Turtle Rock. Like, he did desert. And then he decided, since I still needed things, I'm going to go to Turtle Rock because there's a lot of items up there. And Wolfie made that call much earlier.
Yeah, and off. As the joke kind of goes with the bug net, Aghanim is now able to be defeated.
That's good, because he's going to encounter him soon.
But yeah, I think I've seen... Oh, it's not your Bob's chest, but no, I think I've seen Bugnet and G-Tower like a little bit too often for comfort. Because for some of our newer racers, having those safeties early like really helps. I mean, those bottles, cape, can of Burna.
Yeah, it's nice to have safeties. There's the big key, the
Vanilla.
Big key chest. Now, the only thing you want to make sure before you go upstairs is that you have an extra small key. You need at least one, just in case. I mean, there's a couple of chests up there that could have a small key, but you really just, there's so many down in the basement. Just make sure you have one.
Yeah, and it's always been one of those situations where you get the big key and you're just so excited to get the big key, you don't check your small keys. And you mirror out, you make your ascent, and you get stuck.
Right.
But yeah, let me just give a small shout out to the big key chest in Gannis Tower. Never checked. Never checked.
The big chest?
Yeah, the big chest.
Man, if that,
I mean, because like you would never want to check it, but it's still never checked.
Wait, why does Wolfie need to feel bad about this run?
I think chat just wants to see him have full hearts.
That's true, 19 hearts. He's probably thinking, like, my opponent is so far ahead, and I full cleared everything. Wow. I wonder how many pieces of heart he has. Like, he's got to be close.
A little bit of trouble in the final room of the gauntlet, but so like Wolfie's so healthy.
David is making his way into Swamp. He's gonna do a quick run of this.
Almost missing the entire first round of Land Mollusk.
I really don't know what else Wolfie checked that he has so many more hearts compared to David. Because David did a lot of checks too.
Yeah, but David did leave behind a couple of hearts. Like, he went into an area where there was a heart, like a full heart container, and just left it.
Oh, that must be it. Yeah, we're in the first round of the Swiss bracket. It's just essentially 1v1 matches where you go against someone who should have the same ranking as you. Like, if you have, 2 wins and 1 loss, you'll be going against someone else who has 2 wins and 1 loss, that sort of thing. So we do 6 of these matches throughout the next 6 weeks.
Wolfie with half magic doesn't necessarily need to get the full magic pot over there, but does decide to get the heart refill. Health is very important to manage in here, because going into the Ganon fight, you do not get a free health refill.
Right. He does not need the small key from the mini Helmosaurus. Oh, 6 weeks is just for the Swiss part. Then we have group stages after that. I'm not sure how much time will be set aside for that, but a lot more races then. And then we have the final bracket.
Yeah, because we have an overflow, which is why we have a secondary tournament of racers that want to contend and show off their skills and entertain all you lovely people.
No validation chest, that's right.
Gotta leave that chest behind. I mean, Wolfie's probably looking at his time, 146, my opponent's got to be close. With a contender that's equal to, or about your skill level, I mean, and I've seen Wolfie finish certain seeds that seem almost trolly at about, sub 130, sub 140, so.
Ooh, the double. Very nice.
Yeah, almost a triple.
Another double.
2-2, just needs 2 more.
Not quite trolled by that hot dog. There's another double. 2-2-2 for Wolfie. That's pretty good. He's going into Ganon, and David. He still has a bit to go. He'll finish this. He has about a minute to get up to Ganon's tower. He has to go third. He might go right hand side first.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to pay off for David.
I would say it's about a 10-minute difference overall at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately, Wolfie just getting a couple of items and being in a better position to full clear these dungeons. Ganon giving quality life advice. Think outside the box.
So Ganon needs 6 slashes total from the Butter Sword in each of these first 2 phases. So it's
Wolfie going for
quick.
a trusty 6, 7, 8. 9 slashes. Does not like Ganon. Just wants this race to be over. Doesn't know where his opponent is. Nervous. Ganon giving all the warps.
Oh no, the dead rock.
Yeah, David's had a lot of trouble with dead rocks this race.
And Misery Mire, of course, Ganon, you have to get him. Oh, almost a double.
Yeah, just a little bit too long trying to get into that position for that double hit.
There's the double. And that's it. Wolfie is the winner. Final time, 1:48.56. GG to Wolfie. The other race has been delayed a little bit, that's why.
Yeah, I believe
it'll probably be shown here now.
I actually thought I saw it was going to be shown on Speed Gaming 1 right after Earthbound.
Oh.
So it might have got pushed back a little bit farther.
Because we actually, let me look at the schedule here. So yeah, this was the 10 p.m. race that they're waiting for, so it's now 11. We have another 11 p.m. race. That is between Sidario and JSR2 Gamers. That's on Speed Gaming.
Okay, so the other one is still on 3 then. Gotcha.
And we have one at midnight in 1 more hour. Pryor versus Ben. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be hype too.
It's always a blast to watch Ben race.
Oh no, it's not midnight. It's Wednesday. I'm sorry, that's noon. I know how to read times. It's all right. So tonight we have 2 more races. We have one going on that's either going to be here or Speed Gaming 3. Yeah, okay, look. Fiesel says in chat, there's going to be one on Speed Gaming and one on Speed Gaming 2.
Looks like Wolfie's in the waiting room, possibly waiting for an interview.
Yeah, that's
wanted to drag him in.
Welcome, Wolfie. GG.
Thank you.
So how about that Turtle Rock?
Oh, that was pretty rough. Although there was really no reason for me to delay going there quite so long.
You would be surprised. David was up at Death Mountain and Darkwood Death Mountain. He had both rods and he opened Turtle Rock, but then he decided to, go get the dash boots and he left.
Oh,
he actually did not go into Turtle Rock. If he had gone in there right then, he would have been in go mode a lot sooner than you, but he delayed it and then he ended up doing things like clearing desert and stuff, and that's really what put you ahead.
Yeah, it would have been possible to do ice and go mode and most of Swamp too, and pod as well.
Yeah, definitely GG Wolfie. Yeah, it was pretty scary. He was up there at 58 minutes. So possible 20-minute lead essentially right there, getting Turtle Rock out of the way. But also, congratulations on your execution, man. As soon as you hit that go mode, I'm sitting there trying to get in your head thinking oh man, where's my opponent? Looking at your time when you're in G Tower and it's 45, and you're just but the seed seems so open at the beginning with the Moon Pearl and the hammer so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really had no idea whether I'd be ahead or behind in that one.
Yeah. So, we were also wondering how long it would take you to go pick up Fire Rod, because you sort of delayed that for a bit. I know you were trying to put it into your route, but you found Bombos in pods, so you're well, I'll go do ice, and I don't need Fire Rod yet.
Yeah, I totally didn't need that Fire Rod for anything until I had to go to Turtle Rock.
We did see you, however, kind of jump off it. You got up there to go into ice, but then you jumped off oh, but I gotta get Fire Rod, and you're
but I have to
never
go
mind.
In the Dark World, right?
Yeah, and you're never mind, I got Bombos, this is okay, we're still fine.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting seed. It started out, there was actually a bunch of stuff, gave you Moon Pearl early, had an early glove, but then you were you both were, looking for where that hammer was.
Mm-hmm.
And then that being unlocked, and even still, just the weird locations, Mire being at Dwarves, not something you usually see.
Oh yeah, that's a troll spot.
And
the Dwarf is one of the last places I tend to check.
Yeah, we saw you in the pod early.
Yeah.
And make that gamble.
And luckily I was bow locked out of the pod anyway.
So David was the first to get Mire. He was slightly ahead at that point. But yeah, just delaying that Turtle Rock call. Unfortunately, you couldn't have done it when you were up there the first time. Otherwise, maybe you would have if you had Fire Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what you were missing. No, wait, you did have the Mire by that time.
He was just missing the Fire Rod. But you went up there first anyway, and that was in your benefit.
Now, how excited were you once you saw Turtle Rock? We can't get enough about how much Turtle Rock was needed in this seed. To see both Quake, which was needed from Mire, and the hookshot in that dungeon.
Yeah. That was fun.
you know people in chat were hoping. We were hoping on that pedestal seed.
Yeah, I was thinking about the pedestal too.
I mean, no book. You just sort of have to do that blind pull, and sometimes it pays off.
I also totally forgot that I didn't have the hook shot when I went into swamp there.
Oh, the first time, and you got lucky with the bow.
Yeah, it didn't really help my route to get the bow there, but I thought it might. I was sort of hopeful that my mistake might pay off, but not really.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like Trotorok into swamp was the route that the seed wanted to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was still very doable. Just that double dip in the swamp is always a bit of a time eater. Having to switch those water just a little bit. I mean, you didn't have to go all the way in, thank goodness, but.
Alright, David's making his way through Gauntlet here. He's going to be fighting Lammo too in a moment.
Yeah, I did see you have a little bit of trouble with the silvers on Lanmo. You had a nice recovery though, but like the first couple of shots were just like it looked like they should have hit, but they were just probably like a pixel off.
Usually when you miss, it's hard to recover because of all the lag, but I was glad I could get it.
And it was a very nice Aghanim too you had.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that 2-2-2, even with those really trolly patterns that he was giving you.
So a nice solid run from both of our runners here, so make sure you give them a follow. I'll pop the link in chat again. Yeah, we'll be seeing Wolfie's menu time momentarily.
And you'll be seeing more of both of these runners, because this was only the first match in their Swiss rounds. So they got 5 more to do after this.
So yeah, congrats Wolfie, you're moving on, 1-0. Waiting for your next opponent next week, who should also have a 1-0 at then. So half of our runners are going to have a win. And so you'll definitely be matched against someone else with a win.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in your Swiss round that you're particularly excited about racing?
Excited?
No, not particularly.
Ooh, savage.
I mean, I'd be happy to race anyone, you know? Doesn't really matter to me.
I know. I was just giving you a little bit of a tease.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, maybe I'll get my rematch with chat.
Now here's something interesting.
I would like that.
You had almost full hearts. We were trying to figure out, like, you know, were you just missing like one piece of heart? Because the validation chest itself had a piece of heart, and chat was kind of like, man, he's got to complete, man. He's got to get that last heart.
Oh yeah.
19 hearts. You usually don't see that many. Just clearing so many things, and even still, you still had a lot of Ganon Tower chests left. I mean, you had the right-hand side and everything upstairs.
The health refill would have been nice before Ganon, but I didn't really need it.
So you got a 3-minute, 26-second menu time and a 10-minute lag time.
Nice. For a nearly 2-hour seed. Around 30, pretty good. Lag time is just from probably mostly all the screen transitions.
It was actually kind of interesting how I thought about how lag time was considered. I often thought that lag time was like the time in between each chest was open that you were checking for an item.
No, it's just anytime the game slows down. You know, you have some drop frames, that sort of thing. Inside the game itself, well, they're not dropped, but yeah, whenever the game slows down, or when the screen's transitioning and you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And so once again, Ganon only requires 6 hits, but David is just going to town, taking out his frustrations on him.
Yeah, Ganon was super warpy tonight.
You just gotta wail on Ganon a few extra times just to make sure.
Yeah, it's satisfying.
Especially in the second phase, you don't want to see that one again because that takes so much time to get through, and it's so dangerous. Yeah, I do agree with chat. It looks like David was getting ready to set up for that spin, as if he was using tempered.
Oh, we get a double.
It's 12 hits
no,
with tempered. So you need 6 hits with butter sword, and you need 12 hits with tempered. But a spin counts as 1 hit with gold sword.
There's a double. Alright, and there's David. GG. And he finishes. Oh, barely missed the sub 2. 2 hours, 18 seconds. And looks like he's waiting, so why don't we pull him in real quick?
Awesome. GG to you. Oh, hey, it's David. Welcome.
GG. That was a close one early on, man. You guys were both trading back and forth, checking the same locations. But, oh, Turtle Rock.
It was in the back of my head to go in there, and I just didn't want to go in there right away.
You opened it. We were so excited. We were hoping you were just going to go in and clear it because you were there, like, get the boots and then go clear Turtle Rock. But then you, like, sidetracked yourself. You're like, nah, I want to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
otherwise, you would have been in go mode probably a lot sooner.
Yeah, chat was super excited to see an early Turtle Rock as well, because they saw you open that up and they're like, he's got everything, man. He just needs that hook shot if he wants to make it even faster, and lo and behold, it was in it.
I mean, you never know with a randomizer. It can put things anywhere. It was a gamble to do Turtle Rock. It just happened to be this seed, that's where the worth was. So still nice running. It's still the first round. You have 5 more matches ahead. So how are you feeling right now, David? I mean, I know it didn't quite work out, but you still were doing a great job overall. Make sure you give him a follow, chat.
I was giving it my all. I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll get the next race, hopefully.
You made a very good call with the dwarves. You got the Mire first.
Yeah.
Wolfie was the first to go into Turtle Rock, however, and he was also the first to get the bow because he went early, sort of like you did. You both went into Swamp before you had hookshot to like check the first few chests. It just happened that Wolfie did that first. But either way, you know, bow didn't actually lead to any progression. It was needed, but it wasn't a progression.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were the first to get that Mire, and so that was nice to see.
I was pretty excited because I saw fire rod on the island, and I was like, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw you do a little dance in the water.
It's so out of the way to get that Mire when it happens to be the dwarves.
Yeah. I was going to get the dwarf, and for some weird reason I just thought I had the Mire already. That's why I went over there already. And that's why I got the dwarf so early. And I was like, oh, okay. It still worked out.
All right. It looks like they're about to set up for the next race here.
Yeah, I think we're going to be handing over to Evil Ash and El Magus.
I think so. So any parting words from either of our runners? Again, GG.
GG's.
Make sure you give them a follow. Make sure you give my fellow commentator, Ninnies, a follow, and our tracker, Epi.
Yeah, it's beautiful work, and likewise to you. Give Jet OhHeyItsDavid a follow as well. Fantastic co-commentator. And a pleasure to work with you, my friend.
This is a pleasure. All right, guys. Enjoy the next race. Have fun, all.
Yeah, you guys have been great.